What an entrance, what can I say? Good afternoon, graduates, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenny McInnes, Principal of Graduation Events being held here at our Falkirk Campus today. Before we start, I would like to do some housekeeping. You will be delighted to know that we haven't planned a fire alarm for the next hour. It makes sense, I would say. However, if it does go off, it is the real deal. We have fire exits around the periphery of the hall. Please follow the staff to the muster points. I would also ask that you ensure that your mobile phones are on silent, please, throughout the ceremony. Thank you. This campus was a finalist in both the 2022 Stirling Prize and the 2022 Doolan Prize, esteemed National Architectural Awards for the best building of the year. And I'm sure you will agree it's a fine example of modern architecture and a fitting venue for our graduation ceremony today. Our graduation ceremonies have always been the highlight of our academic year, and I look forward to our students to see you all receive your scrolls today. And I am fully aware of the hard work and the dedication you'll have shown throughout your time with us. I myself started as an engineering apprentice at Falkirk College of Technology, no more than 100 yards up the road in 1985, and I am pretty petrified to say that's nearly 40 years next year. But I know what you're all thinking. He's aged really well. He's looking good. Too much laughing. But, joking aside, my experience of college was transformational. And I recognise its ability to open opportunities to many different pathways and a range of highly successful careers. I would not be standing here today as a principal of this amazing college without the experience of college and the opportunities that it's opened up for me personally. I hold so much value in the time I spent at college and the support that I received as I started my career journey. Therefore, I fully appreciate what it has taken for you to be here today, and you should be immensely proud. Before I start, I would like to move on to some formal introductions. On my left, at the top table, is our guest of honour and keynote speaker, Mark Crothall. Mark, on behalf of everyone at the college, I am delighted that you've agreed to take such a lead role for us in this afternoon's proceedings by presenting our Outstanding Achievement Awards for this afternoon and also delivering our keynote speech. So thank you. Next to Mark is Dr. Abhishek Argawal, the Chair of Forth Valley College Board of Management, who will present one of our Fellowship Awards for 2024 this afternoon and also bring our ceremony to a close by delivering our vote of thanks. And on my far left is Diane Creed, the Director of Curriculum for the Department of Creative, Digital and Leisure Industries. And I think Diane's probably got the most important job this afternoon, and that's reading out the names of the graduates. Then behind me are some of my colleagues from the college, members of the Board of Management, college fellows and representatives from our management team and teaching and corporate services departments. Within the audience, we're also delighted to welcome some key partners of the college and also the sponsors of our Outstanding Achievement Awards today. And we also have other honoured guests, so thank you all. I would also like to take this opportunity to recognise all those who will receive honorary fellowships at our ceremonies today. Our Fellowship Award recognises the outstanding services by an individual to Forth Valley College, its learners and the local community. And this year we are delighted to bestow this honour on 3 former colleagues, Professor Ken Thompson, OBE, Jackie MacArthur and Ken Richardson. I am delighted that we will present Professor Ken Thompson's fellowship later in our ceremony, and I will show more details of Ken's contribution to the college in just a bit. I would also like to thank all the college staff for their work and dedication to our students, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for the significant contribution you make to the college being an ongoing success. However, the stars of today's ceremonies are you, our graduands. Today we are proud and delighted to celebrate your hard work and your success. Although I've attended these occasions for many years in my various roles at the college, each year I take the chance to reflect on the importance of our graduation ceremonies. These events give us an annual opportunity to publicly recognise your success. It should never be underestimated just what it means for our students to get here and the true sense of achievement that this should bring. And what an achievement it is. This year we are delighted to have around 850 students graduating in a wide variety of different qualifications, including higher national qualifications, degrees and professional qualifications. Today is all about celebrating these achievements, and you, the students, should all feel extremely proud about reaching such a major milestone in your learning journey. Despite some challenges we've faced over the last few years, there are also multiple reasons for optimism. And these also serve as an important reason why you should be very proud to graduate from Forth Valley College, consistently one of Scotland's leading colleges. Our most recent Scottish College sector performance reports back this up with excellent success rates. Out of the 24 colleges across Scotland, we are placed in the top 5 for full-time and part-time further and higher education courses. We are also top in Scotland for achievement for 18 to 24-year-olds, which is our largest student demographic. In fact, we are well above the sector average in virtually all the report's categories. We have also been recognised as Engineering Construction Industry Training Board's UK's training provider for the year for 2023. And the college also leads the sector in being the biggest trainer of modern apprentices in Scotland, and our popular school partnership programmes with our local high schools are much admired across the country. Not only that, but our figures show that approximately 96% of our students successfully progress onto employment or university upon completing their course at Forth Valley College, and I'm sure you will agree that these are very impressive statistics. And to ensure that we continue to deliver relevant opportunities, the college is a key partner in the city-region deals across Clackmannanshire, Stirling and Falkirk, which sees a combined investment of over £300 million, which will bring significant training and employment opportunities to the communities of Forth Valley. These are only a few examples of the great work happening across the college. However, I am immensely proud of all the college's achievements, too many to list today. All our graduates here today have shown determination, resilience, and real commitment to your studies. That is why you, our students, are at the core of what we do, and it is the success of everyone here today that makes us a successful college, where we make learning work together. For us at the college, it has always been and always will be a team effort. We all have a role to play in ensuring each student leaves Forth Valley with the skills ready for the world of work. Of course, we must never forget the help of friends and family who have encouraged and supported you all on your college journey, who are here today to see you graduate. But having thanked everybody with a role in your learning, at the end of the day, it is you who have been ultimately responsible for your own success. And it is this success that we celebrate today. If I could be indulgent for a moment, and I'm going to be indulgent because I can be indulgent, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer some advice from my own experiences. Take every opportunity you can to expand your learning and skills through your life and grasp every opportunity that comes your way. Always treat others with respect, the way that you yourself would want to be treated, and never, ever burn your bridges. Most importantly, as you move on in your careers, always make sure you give back and support the learning of the next generation coming through after you. Think about how you were supported to grow and develop. This will ensure our society moves forward, grows and flourishes, which will ultimately benefit us all. I am confident that Forth Valley College will continue to go from strength to strength in 2025, playing an important role in the community for years to come. I'm also confident that you have all exciting futures ahead and that Forth Valley College has helped you achieve the qualifications, skills and experience you need for your next steps. So, to conclude, please remember, learning never stops. As you set off in the next stage of your journey, keep going with your energy and enthusiasm for learning. Take every chance to gain new skills and new training. I can guarantee you will reap the benefits. So, I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you. Enjoy your day, and most of all, enjoy the company of your friends and your family here to celebrate with you. Thank you so much. So, why are we here? Graduation. So we now move on to the main event this afternoon, the graduating of our students. And I would like to ask Diane Creed, Director of Curriculum for the Department of Creative, Digital and Leisure Industries, to come forward and support me in graduating our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny. This afternoon, we are delighted to graduate students from the Department of Creative, Digital and Leisure Industries. BA Art and Design, Coral Allen. Cara Boland. Sarah Cushley. Shona Escombe. Amy Wilkie. Catherine Graham. Sasha Henderson. Maida Iqbal. Charles McGuigan. Callum Milligan. Duncan McNabb Stewart. HNC Beauty Therapy, Dawn Anderson. Sophie Reed. HNC Makeup Artistry, TV, Film and Theatre, Layla Bryce. HNC Professional Cookery, Gabby Andrews. Angela Campbell. Jack Eady. Lewis Robertson. Alex Thompson. HNC Travel and Tourism, Brad Duffy. Shireen Erdogan. Lisa McQueen. Tracy Hendry. Caitlin McAllister. Zoe Watson. Erin Williams. Carrie Taylor. HND Beauty Therapy, Megan Arthur. Jane Dunsmore. Shanna Harding. Christine Irving. Marta Kanarska. Lauren Mitchell. Caitlin Pickin. HND Computing Software Development, Kristaps Kutchi. HND Computing Technical Support, James Wilson. HND Contemporary Art Practice, Alona Bezushko. Kaylee Gaunt. HND Events Management, Kirsty Duncan. Claire Goodman. Tegan Guy. Jennifer Prieto-Matis. Danielle Stewart. Emma Townsley. HND Hospitality Management, Shelby Brown. Sarina Khan. Emma Leach. Callum McLean. HND Makeup Artistry, TV, Film and Theatre, Martina Basic. Lauren Bath. Caitlin Brown. Amy Gorman. Megan Mackay. Victoria McLaren. Stevie Bell. Rachel Punton. Cheryl Robertson. Iona Stevenson. Emily Vevers. HND Media and Communication, Scott Gardner. Adler Mota Velasco. HND Photography, David Chapman. Kaylee Gregory. HND Professional Cookery with Management, Susan Gregory. HND Sound Production, Donald Easty. Cameron Moffat. Jessica Payne. Sarah Saunders. Logan Smith. Josh Wilson. HND Travel and Tourism, Amy Catherine Ann Grome. Yulita Lakoska. Amy Monteith. HND Visual Communication, Caitlin Anderson. Shanna Dixon. Kat Kerr. Lisa Patterson. Kenneth Russell. Claire Snowden. Kenny, thank you for presenting the certificates. If you would like to just take your seat. We will now proceed to presenting our Outstanding Achievement Student Awards. These awards are presented to individuals who have been nominated by the departments as showing the most promise in their fields or being recognised as the most inspirational in their class. I would like to ask our guest of honour and keynote speaker, Mark Crothall, to present the Student Awards this afternoon. But before I do, I would like to share a bit about Mark. Mark started his working life in the tourism, leisure and hospitality industry at the age of 17. He has held a variety of industry in various parts of the globe. In May 2012, he was appointed as the first CEO of the Scottish Tourism Alliance, acknowledged as the overarching trade body for the tourism and hospitality sector. In November 2022, he was appointed to co-chair the Tourism and Hospitality Industry Leadership Group, which acts as the strategic guardian think tank for Scotland's National Tourism Strategy, Scotland Outlook 2030. He co-chairs this group together with Scotland's Minister for Business, Richard Lochhead, MSP. He is a very well-respected influencer, spending much of his time engaging directly with senior ministers in both Scottish and UK governments, making representation on behalf of the industry. He has previously co-chaired the National Food Tourism Leadership Board and was Scotland's representative on the UK Tourism Industry Council. He is currently a board member of Apprenticeship in Hospitality Scotland Interface and an advisory board member to Springboard. In 2020, Mark was awarded the fellowship by the Scottish Hotel Industry for his outstanding contribution to the industry, and in June 2022 was awarded an MBE in the Queen's Platinum Jubilee Birthday Honours for services to the tourism industry in Scotland. More recently, in October 2023, he also received the Industry Contribution Award. Mark, please come forward to make the presentations. The first award being presented this afternoon is the most inspirational student in the Department of Creative, Digital and Leisure Industries, which is kindly sponsored by Central FM. The winner of this award is...
When I first found out that I'd won the award, I was in shock. I didn't realise how much my work had impacted people and how they felt about it. It's crazy to think that I've won it, especially because I never thought about it in that way. And I can't thank everyone who's supported me and pushed me to do my best enough. Everyone from the lecturers to my mum to my friends, they've always been there telling me to keep going when it gets hard.
Congratulations, Callum. Please come forward to collect your award. The next award being presented this afternoon is the most promising student in the Department of Creative, Digital and Leisure Industries, which is kindly sponsored by VAS Media. The winner of this award is...
I feel really proud of myself to win this award because it acts as physical evidence that I've not only put in all this time and effort and many hours into my course to achieve my grade, but also to win this additional award, and it makes me feel really happy. And it means so much to me because the amount of people that I've met the last 3-4 years that I've been at college, lecturers, students and staff, and I know that they all are in my corner and they all support me and my aspirations as much as my friends and family do. So it's really great to have that amount of people that believe in you.
Congratulations, Emma. Mark, thank you for presenting our Outstanding Achievement Awards. I would now like to invite Principal Kenny McInnes to come forward to say a few words about the recipient of our 2024 Fellowship Award.
Thank you, Diane. We now turn to the presentation of one of our Fellowship Awards for 2024. As I said earlier, these awards were introduced to recognise the outstanding contributions of individuals to Forth Valley College, its learners and the local community. And this afternoon, we are absolutely delighted to honour former Forth Valley College Principal and Chief Executive, Professor Ken Thompson, OBE. Ken joined Falkirk College of Further and Higher Education as a lecturer in January 1994. He held the posts of lecturer, senior lecturer, head of school, and Director of Learning Services. When Forth Valley College was formed in 2005 with the mergers of Falkirk College of Further and Higher Education and Clickmanager College, Ken took on the role of Associate Principal of Learning Services, also with responsibility for the Falkirk Campus in Stirling at the time. He was promoted to Deputy Principal in October 2006 and then became Principal and CEO in August 2013. During his time as Deputy Principal and Principal, Ken oversaw the successful delivery of the new Alloa campus in 2011, Stirling campus in 2012 and the Falkirk campus in 2020, culminating in a public finance spend of over £130 million for the communities of Forth Valley. Ken also led on the very successful whole college approach to making learning work, which won the prestigious Association of Colleges Beacon Award for Innovation in FE in 2015, and also the TESS Award for Best Teaching and Learning Initiative in 2017. Forth Valley College was also shortlisted as Best College in the UK for 2020. Ken cemented the college as the highest STEM performing college in Scotland and one of the largest trainers of modern apprenticeships in Scotland. He also led introducing the innovative creative learning strategy and the Learning and Digital Skills Academy within the college. His leadership was also instrumental in seeing the college navigate its way through COVID-19 pandemic. Ken was awarded an OBE for his services to education, economic development and the communities of Forth Valley in 2019, and then received an honorary professorship from the University of Stirling in recognition of his contribution to the academic work of the Faculty of Social Sciences. Ken's legacy, and it is a legacy, is that he helped shape the lives of thousands of young people across Forth Valley through his leadership as a principal. I would now like to ask Ken to come forward to accept his fellowship and Dr. Abhishek Agarwal, our Chair of the Board of Management, to come forward to present to him. Congratulations. I think it's fair to say that that's a hard act to follow. I am standing on the shoulders of giants, and I do not say that lightly. I definitely mean it. Ken has been instrumental in my career, and I thank him deeply for that. I would now like to call upon our guest of honour, Mark Crothwell, to come forward and deliver his keynote speech to our graduation audience today. Mark.
Wow, this is a tough act to follow for a Friday as well. So, but I was saying to colleagues earlier on, I was with the Prime Minister last night, and I can assure you, you were a much better gig than that was. So, but first of all, it's traditional in my household. My wife never believes me where I go sometimes, and particularly on a Friday lunchtime to engage. She thinks I'm elsewhere. So I need to actually just take a selfie with you guys to prove that I'm actually here, because I did tell her I was in the audience. So I'm going to ask you all to just shout out, raise your hands, and ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. Thank you. Thank you indeed. This is a huge privilege for me to be invited here today. I never went to college. I never went to university. I actually got kicked out of school. And when I come into an academic institution, I break out into sweat quite easily. So, and actually, when they position all of these scrolls in front of the guest speaker, you think, if these go over, you are really going to make a right idiot of yourself. So I've now figured out how you do it. So thank you for making that a bit easier for me. So Diane has sort of outlined a lot of where I've come from more recently in terms of my career. But I wanted to use this opportunity to perhaps just share a bit about my journey, a quick bit about me. It's not about me today, of course. It's about you. But I just wanted to give you even more hope and, I suppose, of what lies ahead. And importantly, to share a few sort of messages or things that I've learned along the way that's allowed me to get to where I am today. Often when I put this slide up on a screen, particularly in an education establishment, you can see the teachers and the lecturers starting to panic, because those of you that have been into an arcade where there are gambling machines, they think, where's this going? But back in 1973, I lived in Sweden with my family, and we lived in a hotel because we had nowhere else to live at the time, and the hotel manager took us in and allowed us to use the flat. And we became very good friends with the family, and we were having dinner one evening, and we were moving from the restaurant in the hotel up to the flat, and we walked through this room filled with puggies, and there was a credit of 1 krona in this machine, and the general manager of the hotel pulled it, and he won the jackpot. And at the age of 10, I thought, this is an industry I want to get into, because this is clearly where it's at. But over the years, and as Diane said, I've been fortunate to live around the world and work around the world. And I never really thought about that. When I went into school, was a career in tourism and hospitality, leisure, something that I wanted to do. But having been asked to leave school because I actually focused more on sport, I did, and I went up to Oxford. It's always good to say you went to Oxford on your CV. Don't quite say where in Oxford you went, but I did go to Oxford. And I was there at a young age of 16, and I needed to earn a living. And I decided, well, actually, I wanted to try and pass my exams, and I wanted to pay for my education to get to do that. Didn't quite work out, but what it did do is actually lean me into this industry that is so wonderful. We say tourism is everyone's business, so anyone in this room right now who thinks they're not in the tourism industry, you are. And you'll recognize those cocktail Tom Cruise bartending days. I worked in a nightclub underage, which was great, with lots of people, and I actually blagged my way into working in a French restaurant just because I spoke a bit of French, which was run by the French chef of the year, Monsieur Chavignon, and a very well-known chef of today, Raymond Blanc, was the sous chef. I was there as a waiter. I had a crash course from my pal Greville to how to wait on tables, but he said avoid peas, don't dare try and serve peas to anyone, or new potatoes, because they could end up in people's laps. And sure enough, the maitre d' of the restaurant had sussed me out straight away. I had the peas. They went straight into the laps of a very wealthy gentleman who thought it was extremely amusing, gave me a £10 tip, and moved on. I was then dismissed from the restaurant, or told I was maybe take a better pathway. So one of my best friends, actually, in Oxford was a chap called Russell, and his father owned the dairy along the south coast of England, in Brighton, Eastbourne, that area. And his dad said, look, okay, guys, you can use my flat, but the condition is that you have to cover all of the milkman shifts for any sickness or whatever. So I was a milkman, and I enjoyed this wonderful life of delivering milk, getting up very early in the morning, which I still do and have done throughout my career, but delivering milk along the Brighton seafront to the various hotels and things. And it was great fun, apart from the lady who never bought any milk from you, but she lived on the top floor of an apartment and insisted that you remembered which week or where she'd hidden the key or where she'd hidden the money, the envelope in for her coupon for the Christmas thing. So you walked up 10 flights of stairs to try and then remember what she'd said to you the week before, get the coupon and come down again. But on this particular day, the rain was horizontal coming in through the milk, through the cab, and as you can see, it was all open. And I arrived at the back door of the Metropole Hotel in Brighton. And in those days, it was very much get in a queue if you want a job. I think my first weekly wage was about £25. I was asked, have you ever worked in a restaurant before? And of course I said, yeah, I worked for the Chef of the Year, France, you know, all this stuff. And I was accepted into the kitchen, and I had a wonderful time working very briefly in this kitchen, starting my life with food and drink and my love of food and drink. And then I started to remember that time in the Sheraton. But I'm somebody, and this is one of my first sort of messages to all of you in the room, I'm a great believer in fate, and I'm a great believer in taking opportunity and seizing the moment. Unfortunately, we have family quite well connected in different parts of the globe. And I'd gone home to my mother to tell her I was off to France, and she said, well, hang on a minute, your uncle, who lives in South Africa, is on a board of governors of a college, actually, and one of the other governors of the college was a hotel manager, and they were looking for a trainee manager. This is in South Africa. So think about it for a couple of weeks. 2 days later, I phoned my mother from Heathrow Airport, and I was on a plane to South Africa. This is genuinely the only photograph I have of me with hair. My kids have never seen me without hair, or with hair, should I say. So they, some people say, were you in jail for that, or whatever? But so that's quite, guys. I'm very, very, what do you reckon? 61 years old. You stole my thunder earlier on, actually. I look quite good for 61, 5 children as well. So, but I work for Gilbey's Gin, who you know, they have five hotels out in South Africa at the time, and obviously a massive company in terms of the drinks industry. So I arrived to go for a 9-month contract in South Africa, and actually it was right through the middle of apartheid in the early 80s. And I ended up staying 5 years there, working in this country, which is the most beautiful country, or one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to, but in an environment that was very alien to me. My best friends back in England had come from Africa, and we were all very integrated, and everybody was, you know, an equal, and thrown into this very strange environment. And I stayed there for 5 years, working in different forms, and ended up having my own restaurant. And I always took the views that take nothing for granted. And one of the other things that I'll tell you, and I would encourage you all to think about, mums and dads and everybody else in the audience as well, I used to ride my motorbike up to the bottom of Table Mountain after my bar shift, and I was told that 70% of people who live in Cape Town have never been up Table Mountain. And I ask you to think, all of you, that what have you not done that's on your doorstep that you could be doing? And I know COVID has opened up a whole range of increased knowledge because we all had to go out and explore. We did go out and explore Scotland. But that point really stuck with me, and I thought, seize every moment, do everything that you can. If you're given an invitation to do something, accept it. If you're invited to a dinner or a party or a conference, go. If you don't like it, don't go again. If you get the invite second time round, I'm enjoying today, so I'll by all means invite me back. But in 1985, the law was at the time you had to do national service if you wanted to stay in South Africa, and I didn't go there to fight a war or anything, and I came back to London. But having had an amazing career and actually learnt an awful lot in the industry, because of the colour of my skin, you were automatically accelerated into managerial roles, and you had to really figure it out yourselves. But it was also about making sure that you work with people and treating everybody equally, and I did that. I'm quite good in Swahili and all sorts of other things, and knowing tribes, when not to partner certain tribes with other tribes. It was very, very... Tribal rostering was not something I actually thought I'd ever have to use again until I came to Glasgow, and then you come to Old Firm Day and you've got a kitchen brigade who are all Celtic supporters, and then the front of house team who are all Rangers supporters, and that's quite an interesting dynamic when it happens. But I came back to London, and I had to really sort of prove myself again that, you know, I've worked in this country, I had an incredible career, I've learnt lots of things. I literally threw my CV around everywhere, and I got given a break by somebody who knew where I'd come from and actually understood the dynamic, and that was at Heathrow Airport at the Sheraton Skyline. It was quite convenient because my stepfather was a pilot, and I used to get in the cockpit and fly down to Spain and stay with my dad. It was quicker for me to get to him than it was to my mother in Brighton at the time. But from there, I went over from the Skyline. I met my first wife. We then went out to the Channel Islands and had amazing times. And this industry has really shown me just how much fun and real exposure to people that you never in your wildest dreams could think you would ever meet, be it from high-profile sports people to princes, kings, queens. You know, I feel very humbled by the number of people who I have had the opportunity to meet and learn from, because it's always important to try and have a conversation with them, and a little bit more about that in a minute. So from Guernsey, again, my eldest son, who is now 33, and he is the general manager of the Glen Eagles Townhouse. My wife was pregnant, and we couldn't live on the island any longer because we didn't have enough money to buy a house. So that's when I first came to Scotland. And my great-grandmother is Scottish, and we've got a lot of Scottish heritage from East Lothian. But I came to Glasgow in 1990, when Glasgow was the European City of Culture, for those that you remember it, when it was in its heyday, not looking like it is today, unfortunately. But I opened the Royal Concert Hall, and it was the jewel in the crown for the city, and working for a contract catering company called Leatherby and Christopher. And the company had an amazing array of contracts across the country, from racecourses to Premier League football clubs to the Scottish Exhibition Centre. We even actually went out and catered at the Eurotunnel in Coquelles in France. You'll see a picture of the Queen here. The reason why I'm putting this little picture up here is my claim to fame, whether it's, I don't think you can claim to fame, is actually I spilt champagne over the Queen on the opening night of the concert hall, which wasn't very clever. It was a young student that was working with us, gave the tray of drinks, or my arm, a little nudge just as I stepped forward with the champagne and the glass. I can still see it vividly going all over her dress. Prince Philip at the time turned around and said, "I hope none of that's gone into the malt," and then we moved on. So it was a great time, and it gave me a lot of different experiences in Glasgow through to 1995. And then I probably had another of what is, for me, one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life. And it's certainly changed me as a person in terms of confidence and actually really thinking out the box, being brave and thinking, wow, what if I wanted to do something that's really crazy? The place you can do it is in a theme park. And we lived under... My wife and I, we lived under the log flume, which was interesting. Alton Towers at night is a very weird place. We used to go wandering around. But I had an idea at the time of thinking it would be really good to put a bit of magic on every food. So I had 2 tons of sugar commissioned, and every transaction that we did with food, I said, it's brilliant. You just go with a little touch of magic. Went wrong very quickly after a week when all the parents were going, what are you chucking on my kids' food? Get all of that. So 1 3/4 tons of sugar probably went down into the bin. But it was incredible because it actually made you think out the box, and you know you were tested to the point of view, just be crazy. People are coming into the world of make-believe here. You can deliver the magic in everything you do. You know, if you were buying a teaspoon, the first question on the team sheet was, does this deliver magic? And you're thinking, teaspoon, delivering magic, a bit wacky. I was invited by Disney to go over to Disney and actually do the same job, and unfortunately at the very last minute the job actually didn't work out, so I stayed behind, and then I spent some time back into the contract catering world, working in a joint venture with the NEC in Birmingham and a pub company. And unbeknown to me at the time, the brigade of chefs at the NEC in Birmingham had 9 gold culinary championship medals, more than the national team. And we had a great fun trying to deliver, again, catering, but in a very different and creative way. But wanting to do something different, and again, I guess this is where our industry that we work in, and you have all come through courses that allow you that breadth of opportunity to explore other things. I ended up working in the world of healthcare, who'd just been bought by Whitbread in London. Fantastic, again, exposure in Wimbledon, with every top tennis player coming through the club, but also a lot of just normal people just wanting to live life longer, feel good about themselves, and do stuff. Can I coach tennis? Can I prescribe exercise? No, I can't. But it's a people industry we work in, and it's a people industry that the health and fitness industry was all about. So had 6 years of going with Whitbread and David Lloyd when they were started out with just 19 clubs. When I left, there were 55. And then I was in the Innovation Centre in Dunstable with this giant corporate. And we'd unfortunately lost a baby through midterm, and my wife and I said, it's time to go back to Scotland. Let's find a way to do that. And so we decided to come back up the road, and we went from being in this innovation centre in this massive global corporate company, going up to the beautiful part of Glencoe. And I sat in a tiny little office looking after, as operations director, for 4 hotels, the Ballachulish, the Isles of Glencoe, the Oban Caledonian, and another hotel next door. And it was just surreal from going on a Friday from this corporate world into the beauty of the Highlands of Scotland. And had an amazing time up there and working privately or working for a private company. They then sold the business. Fortunately, we didn't stay. David Lloyd decided to rebrand and actually merge, and they invited me back to run their operations across Glasgow and Edinburgh and do the integration, which I had another 6 years with them, which was fantastic. But then on to the job that I do now. I've been made redundant 3 times as well, and I think that's another message to you all, is that just because something happens in life, and if you did lose your job and they make you redundant for whatever reason, just remember there's a better one round the corner the next time round. But the other key message to you is never, ever leave a job on bad terms. Stay connected with everybody. Make sure you have as many connections as possible and use those points of contact along the way. And it was through the role I do now that from a previous job with that hotel company up in the Highlands that I was given an introduction or made aware of this job that was about to form. And the Scottish Tourism Alliance, as Diane said, is the overarching trade body for the industry. We have roughly around 70% of 15,500 businesses under our umbrella of membership. And we are responsible for Scotland's national tourism strategy. So the milkman that was there delivering pints in Brighton was suddenly thrust into this world of now being the face to government and ministers and people hanging on every word that you tell them. But also, importantly, it was about corralling people together and actually building this collaboration of an industry that is just one big friend group. And for the last 12 and a half years, we've had to navigate our way as a sector through all sorts of different challenges, as is everyone else. And it was extremely, had its moments. But we are through the worst of it, many would say, but it's still tough. But now we don't have to push doors open to go and speak to ministers, and it's across both the UK government and in Scotland. It's about basically being able to go in there and you're asked for your opinions and views. Now, the first day I had in the job, I was invited by the then Tourism Minister, Fergus Ewing, to give him some reflections and thoughts on what he should be saying to George Osborne, who was the then Chancellor, on why he was applying VAT to static caravans. My wife looked at me and said, "What the hell do you know about that? You were a health and fitness guy for the last 6 years." I said, "I don't know, but I do know people who it means something to." So we went in and we got the right people in there. It got the headline, not the main headline, because it was the same day that he reversed the tax on the Greggs pie. So the Greggs pie won, the static caravan tax also dropped. But I've had an amazing time, and it's taken me around the world, to China, to Australia, out through to Canada, meeting most incredible people. And through that, again, this opportunity to share what Scotland has to offer in its abundance, but also about what those many opportunities exist in our industry. We have 30,000 vacancies in our industry right now. So there's a job for all of you out there. And I always jokingly say right now, if you can fry an egg, you're probably going to earn about 40 grand at the moment, because there are plenty of needs for good quality chefs. And we have to respond to this changing world that we're moving in. It's moving very fast. Of course, the climate is a big, big challenge for us all. And you are that next generation. You are the people who really have a big responsibility on your shoulders. But bringing your knowledge and sharing, and hopefully us being able to share our knowledge and you then passing it on, is key. With the AI obviously is coming into its own. We've got, to address the challenges of the climate, but we are a hospitality, we're a people industry, and Scotland is all about its people. That's what stands us apart. And our strategy is for Scotland to be the world leader in 21st century tourism. And that means, it will take all of us to do that, to be the very best in class. And I am very confident we can do it. And this is my wee guy. He's my latest addition to the family here. He is my grandson of 7 months old, and that's the reason why I do the job that I do today. And I was very privileged, as I say, to receive the MBE from the Queen and be given it by the Princess Royal last year. This is me telling her the story about me pouring champagne over her mother, which obviously went down quite well. But it was an extreme honour, and it has been an honour to be part of the industry and do the job that I do. And I would never change my pathway, but I would never, ever suggest to anyone that staying away from learning more in colleges and university. I do have, I have one course, I got a Lotus 123 course at Annie's Land College. That's what I have to my fame. So, but my final message really is, make sure you set out to enjoy every day of your life and have many, many unique and memorable experiences, just as Kate and Leo did here on the Titanic. They were really enjoying every moment, and the same way that this couple did when they were doing the Arran to crossing on the Calmac ferry. So with that, I'd like to finally just sort of say a huge, huge thank you to the college for what you do here. You put a huge amount of effort in. I've been fortunate to have known Ken for many years as well, and his niece is in our industry. To mums and dads, I feel your pain with 5 children and obviously a grandson now, 3 of them still to go through the college and the finish off at school. It's so important to learn, and you are the future. And without your learning, we need you to, we are going to be in a much more challenging place. But talk to each other. Technology gets in the way sometimes. Have lots of conversations with people. Use every opportunity you have to learn and talk to real people. Have a real conversation. And if you see an MSP or a minister or whatever, tell them what it's like on the ground. Because without your voices coming into that conversation in the future, we could end up in not being in the place where we want to be. But once again, huge congratulations to you all, and thank you for taking time to listen to me today.
Some wonderful stories and advice, very rich experiences, Mark, including spilling the champagne. I'm glad it was champagne. Graduates and guests, my name is Abi. I was appointed as the chair of the Board of Management of Forth Valley College in June this year. So it is my utmost pleasure to join you here this afternoon. It is fantastic to see you all celebrate your hard work and success, and to see firsthand the positive impact that Forth Valley College has had on your lives. At Forth Valley, we make learning work, whether that be for our students, the local community, sector partners, or the many employers we work with. But for now, would you please join me to thank Mark for his very inspiring speech. Could you join me with a round of applause? And of course, we would also like to take this opportunity to thank those who have sponsored this year's Outstanding Achievement Awards, including Forth Valley Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club of Falkirk, FES, Drummond Laurie Chartered Accountants, Central FM, and Brian Vass Media. And to all our partners we work with over the year, thank you for your continued support. I would also like to thank Aloha Bomar Pipe Band, which lends such a distinctive feel to our event. They will pipe us out in just a few minutes. Graduates, you may also want to take this time this afternoon to thank your family members and friends who have supported you during your time with us, your lecturers, and the support staff that might be supporting you from the background, lots of them. They must have touched your lives in one way or the other. And I also want to highlight the team that is behind this event, a very committed team that everything we feel is running as smoothly is because of them, so I also want to thank them. Would you join me to thank all these people who have been on this journey with you? I would like to talk to you about something a little bit today which comes from my heart. I would like to talk to you about the term imposter. I think it might remind you of the online game Among Us. Have you come across the phrase imposter syndrome? It has a negative connotation attached to it. In simple terms, it is a feeling when someone doubts their abilities. I would like you to think of imposter syndrome as a sign that you are stepping out of your comfort zone and tackling new experiences. Even the most successful people often feel like imposters at some point. It is a badge of honor, indicating growth. The key is to recognize it, talk about it, and understand it as a part of the journey to success. And as the principal said earlier, never stop learning. So the blend of two, getting out of your comfort zone and taking every opportunity to learn, will take you on an extraordinary journey. I have something special to add, as we have been having a theme of hospitality and tourism. I want to share a little story with you. Mark was saying earlier that you should always take the opportunity that comes your way. Say yes to things. And I want to share an experience of mine. When I came to this country, I didn't have a job. I was knocking doors. And you know, for the first place we knock is restaurants. And one of them I knocked was a Turkish restaurant. I went in and I said, I would like a job. And he looks at me. He assumed I was from India. And says, do you know how to make chicken pakoda? I had no clue whatsoever. Because I left India a long time back before that. And probably it is not recognized in the way it is recognized here as an Indian dish. So I said yes. And the next thing was, I went to a couple of takeaways, restaurants, and I asked them, can you help me to learn how to? They laughed at me. I said, what the hell did you actually say? That you know to make it, and you don't. I said, okay, I'm going to make something work. And I went, and that was not the time of internet that you could just search a recipe. So I had to buy lots of things that I thought would go in a chicken pakoda, and I cooked all night. And of course, all my roommates got lucky who were studying with me at the time. They have batches and batches of chicken pakodas made all night. Next day, I went in the restaurant, and in the kitchen in the restaurant, I made chicken pakoda, and they loved it, and I got the job. And I will tell you that, never say no. Once you are in, you could deal with it. And that was my first experience in this country of getting a job. Okay, so I would very strongly suggest to you, don't say no, don't walk away, take the challenge and deal with the challenge. Okay. One more thing I would like to say is that today is not the end of your relationship with the college. It is the beginning of a partnership where we will always be prepared to help and support you in your career journey as and when you need it. And I hope that you would be back to support the college by sharing your experiences and helping us support our next generation of learners. Now, a small housekeeping request. Can I ask all graduates and their guests to wait until the stage party have left the room before vacating the hall, and to vacate via the door to your left. Graduates, please return your gowns upstairs or in the hampers at the exit prior to leaving the campus today. Thank you for your help with this. Thanks also to all our guests who have joined us this afternoon. I hope you have enjoyed the ceremony and that you will now join us for refreshments in the Antonine Suite. But most importantly, to our graduates, on behalf of myself and the college, we wish you every success for the future. Good luck and congratulations, everyone.